What other opportunities are you seeing out there?
Well, we're seeing a lot of ground up construction today, more than ever. Once again, because of the large rise in the interest rate coupon over the past 3 years, the well-documented housing shortage has only been made worse because so many folks are unwilling to, and why would they, give up the interest rate that they locked in 21, 22, right? Mm-hmm. If you have a 3.5% or a 4% interest rate coupon, why would you give that up to go buy a different house and now you're in the high 6s or 7? That has locked in a tremendous amount of the inventory that should be on the market because people typically move. That's how America works. People have other opportunities. And today people are only moving if they absolutely have to. There's no any sort of move just to move up because they will not give up that rate. So with that said, investors are in a bind. They don't have the inventory to buy. So they're turning to ground up construction. And ground up construction is an area that we have seen, especially in 2024, we've seen it grow exponentially. And it's something investors never thought, especially smaller mom and pop investors, and something they never thought they would do, but they're being forced to, because if they want to continue to build out these rental portfolios or even short term, they got to change their strategy. Construction comes with its own challenges, especially last year with a great deal of fluctuation in costs to build those homes. That has stabilized this year, made it a much more predictive marketplace, and folks are doing a much better job. Entitled land is at a premium today, but investors who have a lock in on it, they're doing pretty good, V. They really are.
For someone who, let's say, transitioned from the fix and flip or, even just the buy and hold gal, and say, I want to go now build ground up, where would they go look for source of capital? Would it be someone like RCN?
Yeah, that's right. So it's something that we got serious about really coming out of COVID back in 21. We really put a lot of time and effort in building out our ground up construction programs. And the interesting thing is ground up construction, the loans aren't all that different from a heavy rehab loan. You're basically having a piece of entitled land. You're getting a pro forma on what that particular piece of property is going to cost to go vertical. And then you just do draws in a much more segmented fashion than you would in a fix and flip, where they're usually much shorter and much more bespoke. In a vertical situation, when you're building on a piece of entitled land, it takes a little bit longer. But if you have the right contractors behind you, RCN is all in. We love it.
Are you looking more for like a one property build or subdivision development type?
Yeah, we love infill properties. So no matter whoever's listening to this podcast today, wherever you live, you drive through subdivisions in anywhere America, you will find lots that are just empty on streets that have been built for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And those are what's known in the industry as infill lots, where somebody will buy that lot and build a house on a street that already has existing houses. The risk is really minimal to the investor because you know what that marketplace is going to trade for, and you know the style of home that's going to sell on that street because they're already there. We love those. Now, we do finance in more new construction subdivision areas, but typically it's going to be on a smaller scale. We're not the lender to go finance 100 home developments. That's not what we do. It's more working with seasoned and professional investors, 1, 2, 3, 4 houses at a time.
Okay, this sounds like the dumb questions, but when an investor try to build a new house in an established subdivision, how would they have issue with appraisal? Because there isn't a like property. So would that then make the value less than what it's actually should be?
No, it's actually a great question, and it goes to how investors should be thinking about new construction, which is if you're going to build an infill lot in an established area, you really need to think about the square footage the style, and most importantly, the finishes that are in that neighborhood. And you want to try and mimic them. Now, I'm not saying you want to mimic the 20-year-old finishes inside the house next door. You want to have modern finishes. But if the other homes that have renovated kitchens in that subdivision all used more like basic granite, not super high-end Italian marbles, you want to stick with what's there. And then you will not have a problem getting an appraised value in that community as long as you stick to the values that are in that marketplace. It's really important, V.
Because, sometimes I feel like to price out new constructions, price per square foot, end up being less than, let me rephrase this, by the time you add the lot and the build out and you sell it, and the price per square foot on your new construction can be less than what, a lot higher than what's sold there. So therefore, you seem like you have to put in a lot more money, and it seemed a bit riskier.
That risk can be mitigated by making sure that, number one, you keep your square footages in line, and number two, any premium that you're looking to get for those finishes is on par with that community. If you go too far over, you will never get your money back.
I'm sorry for this interruption. I've been asked a lot about passive investment, and I understand that there is nothing passive about being a landlord unless you can find a great property management company. So if you own an Airbnb, a vacation rental, or a short-term rental, and you are looking to free up your time, contact our team at Buzz Vacation Rentals at 281-549-8432, or check out our website at www.buzzvacationrentals.com.